Okay, I'm recording. So I did this thing, I guess, where instead of covering up my blemish with makeup, well, I guess I sort of did cover it with makeup, but I covered the rest of my face as I normally would with my foundation. But instead of covering this blemish, because it's a raised, kind of encrusted, I can see the detail, blemish on my face, instead I used liner. I know it's a little bit weird, maybe awkward is the better word. So this is the color I use on my eyebrows because I like to get them as close as possible to my hair. Not my natural color, but that's the color of my roots, so I like to get it close as possible to that. And then I add a little bit of black. So actually I did first a little black, and then I patted it out with some of the brown, so it looks pretty natural. I don't know if you could tell, but my skin is actually a bit darker down in the lower part of my jaw and a little lighter up here. So this actually poking through is my natural skin color right here in my cheek and here in my nose. These are my natural skin tone, but I've been experimenting with different foundations. My last one is Il Maquillage. It's Il Maquillage. It's kind of, I guess, trending right now. I really did it because I need to find the right foundation for me. And that one was about $86. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that publicly because all the other makeup people that I see on like YouTube and stuff, they don't say the cost. They just say, oh, it's such a great foundation. It's not bad, to be honest. I'm not sure I chose the right color. I'm a little bit yellowish there. It looks a little yellowish on my skin, especially in this light from my phone and from the light I have in my bathroom. I'm looking for something that I want to compare it to. So, I also got the concealer from Il Maquillage. And the color, of course, is extremely light. But I used this as a concealer, and I tried to put a little bit extra of makeup in this area because I do tend to get a lot of blemishes in the lower part of my chin. It's mostly because I'm over 40 years old and I'm starting to get the hormonal reactions to my skin's age, which is normal, but it's not as bad as it used to be. So this one kind of caught me by surprise. I had an appointment today and I had to be presentable, of course, and so I did that. Instead of trying to block it with makeup, I used my my pencils to kind of bring out the shape of it. Okay, here's the other makeup I was looking for. It's backwards there. I wonder if it looks dirty. I gotta fix that a bit. That's my shirt I just wore today in the background. I got that from my grandma. The way I say she used to do that. So this is called Say 2. Can't read it backwards in the camera, but Say 2. So I bought this makeup in Mexico actually, but it's from a company that does, like, what is it called when it's not a general retailer? It's more like a pyramid type of marketing, more direct sales. That's what they call it, direct sales. So I bought it from someone who was selling it like door to door. And I didn't think it was going to be that great, but at that time in that area, it was the best because when you go to like a regular store, you can't buy makeup at grocery stores there. You can buy some kinds of makeup at pharmacies, but they're specifically for controlling your pimples, and they don't have a wide range of foundation shades. They only had basically 2 different foundation shades, which is either really white or really dark. And I didn't want really white or really dark. I wanted something in between that I can use to blend out my concealer, which tends to be kind of on the lighter side. So Say 2, as you can see, is a lot darker. The shade is a lot darker than the other one that I just got from Il Makiage. I was putting together, so you can see the difference. Can you see how Il Makiage has a bit more of a yellowish tone to it, and the Say 2 has more of a, even the camera itself here is making everything look just a teeny bit lighter. So in the real spectrum, in the real world versus the camera world, what you see on camera, this has a more pinkish tone to it than it shows there. Yeah, that's why my makeup looks so yellowish right now. And this one has, oh, this is a lot closer. So if you can imagine that just like one shade a little bit more on the reddish or terracotta scale, that would be what this color actually looks like. You put them together and you can tell where I put the Il Makiage, because today I used both, and where I put the Say 2. Where I put the Say 2, and I wiped my nose, so I took the makeup off right there under my nose. Where I had the Say 2, it's looking a little bit on the darker side, and where I had the Il Makiage, it's looking a little bit on the lighter side. So I did use some of it around here to blend out the concealer. I used a bit on my nose to hide my my nose wrinkles. We do have some wrinkle. And then I used a bit just kind of in the center. And then over here I used the Say 2. But they blended into each other. So no part of my face has just purely one of the foundations. So this is not to show people which foundation is better. I'm just saying that because this was raised off of my skin, neither of these 2 makeups, not the Il Makiage, not any makeup, and I didn't just use makeup, I used 2 different concealers. I used oh gosh, you can't see it from there, can you? It's MAC. It's MAC, right? This is a really good concealer, supposedly. I mean, I think it's not bad. It's been really good to me. And on top of that, and this just got erased because I've had it for a while, but this is Revlon's Blur Stick. I don't know if you could see the leftover parts of the logo. And to be honest, how did the paint come off so quickly? And if you look really closely, you can see that it says Blur Stick. But I just bought this like 2 weeks ago. Not a month ago. Less than a month ago. It's still really heavy and practically full. It was so cheap. This is supposed to mimic the Blur Stick that you see on ads. I guess they're like, it's like an Asian type of cosmetic, and it's supposed to blur out your wrinkles. So I use a hyaluronic moisturizer and then a serum, Nourish antioxidant facial serum from Trader Joe's, it works pretty well for me. I like it. But I use that first to prime my skin, to moisturize it. And then on top I use the MAC primer. And then on top of that I use the blur stick to just kind of fill in my wrinkles. Especially where I have the most trouble is here. Especially after a long day of worries, going through traffic, dealing with kids, dealing with my kid and his special needs, and just the regular stresses of life. I get the wrinkles there. Especially this morning, I was so wrinkly. There was such a deep crevice in there that I thought, oh, I can't go anywhere today. But I had work, so I had to take care of that. And to me, that was the only logical thing to do. I know my eyes are red. Sorry. It's probably my contacts. But it does a pretty good job once it's in there. And then, of course, then I do the makeup. And I am liking the Seitu. I mean, it maybe because it's slightly darker and it's more like, I feel like it's more like true to my natural skin tone. But I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's pretty good. The maquillage is pretty good. I get less of the makeup transference off of my face and onto my mask when I'm wearing this. Not so much when I'm wearing this. That transfers a lot. As you can see, you can also see it popping out in the camera. This pops out quite a bit because it's very much on there and it transfers out. And the El Maquillage, for some reason, is a bit more translucent. You can see it through on the camera, that it goes through. But in real life, it doesn't come off as much and smudge off, but it does come off a bit. It's not completely non-smudge, non-transferable. And that was disappointing because that was kind of one of the selling points that they were, selling points that they were saying why people like this makeup or why you should buy this makeup. Oh, it won't come off. It looked like the models in the commercial where they were putting it like on their arm or on the back of their hand, and it wasn't wiping off. It does wipe off. So that's not true. So you gotta think of it. Is it worth $86 though? Is it worth $86? Well, to me, this proved today that it is not worth $86 for me, because it was unable to cover this, which in their defense, it's not actually this dark. This is more of a like purplish brownish color, the kind that you would get from a scab. It's more of a scab because a pimple used to be there, it busted, and then it crusted over. So when I tried to put makeup, the bump was like out of the makeup, even though I tried to cover it with all kinds of with all my different primers and the putty and everything, and it was still looking kind of bumpy. Like if I just put makeup on top of it, the color would get covered out, but you could still see the raised different texture on my skin popping out on but quite visibly, and it looked way too much like a mistake, like my makeup just clumped and got stuck like that. So I didn't want to leave it like that. I just put a color on top. I thought if I can't beat them, join them, and I just made it a little darker so it looks more like a birthmark rather than a pimple scar. But see, some of it did wipe off. Some of the makeup did wipe off right around here. Now again, I did put some Il Maquillage in this area, just slightly up around this, and then here I put in the Seitu. From here to here, there is less transference from this side than from that side. So obviously my cheaper Mexico, I don't think they're based in Mexico. They said they're based in New York, but the cheaper Seitu, which is also from New York, did not work. It was not as well substantiated as the Il Makiage, which is better. However, this costed me about, I think it was about 750 pesos, which is about $30. This costed me about $35, about. And this costed $86. So, I guess the question is it really worth it? Neither of them really covered that one blemish, but one of them, just the Say 2, worked less well than the other one. So I think if I'm just going to have to do this and cover it with a pencil instead of with the actual makeup, I'm not going to go pay $86. I'd rather just retouch the subpar, the less capable makeup for coverage throughout the day, rather than paying an extra $86. Because even though it might be, I might have to buy more makeup soon, but I'm not going to buy the same makeup. I'm not going to buy this one again if I can find a better one for about the same price. I'm going to keep trying out makeups and see which one works the best. Okay, so hopefully this was an appropriate video. I don't want to make anyone feel bad, especially I don't want to. This is like the second video, and I'm just going to upload it without editing or anything. So I might as well be live, but I'm not. I'm just going to upload it the way it is. Introducing myself to YouTube again. I know I look a little bit different from last time, but this time I'm actually wearing makeup. And the last video, the first video I uploaded, I was not wearing makeup at all. Anyway, I hope I'm contributing something good to the to society. That's all I really want to do. And look out for my other videos. I'm going to start trying to make channels regarding my language services, experiences as an interpreter, and other cultural anecdotes. It's been fun. Hope to see you soon. Comment, share, like, anything that's appropriate. And I hopefully see you again in the next video, or I mean you see me again in the next video. Bye.